Yanra Dwara Kaila Prabhu Kirtan Prachar. Janra Dwara Kaila Prabhu Jagat Nistar. This is so important. Like you go to Rishikesh, next to Rishikesh is Haridwar. And then there's Dwaraka. Dwaraka means the doorway to India, or the place of Krishna's Lila, Dwara. It's on the far west of India. So Haridwara means the door of Hari, the door of liberation. Because both of these places, there are 7 cities in India which are called Mukti Dwara. Mukti Dwara. Mukti Dwara means gates to liberation, or they're called Mokshapuri. Mokshapuri means 7 cities which give liberation. Simply you die there, you get liberation. One is Radha Kund, Vrindavan, Braj Mandal, Mathura Mandal. The other is Kashi, Benares, Kashi. Another one's Ayodhya. Another one is Dwarka. Another one is Haridwar. Haridwar, Dwarka, Benares, Ayodhya, Vrindavan, Mathura Vrindavan, and Kashi, and one in South India, Vishnu Kanchi. And like this, there's 7 cities. So Dwaraka means that place you get liberation, Haridwar. So here, Chaitanya Charitamrita, Advaita Acharya is called a Dwara. He's the Dwara for for Kirtan, and he's the Dwara to deliver the universe. Because the whole universe is delivered by Harinam Sankirtan. Pram Vijayate Sri Krishna Sankirtan Ki Jai. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said this is the only victory. People will be victorious over Jana and Mrityu, over birth and death, only by this Harinam Sankirtan, no other way in the age of Kali. Harinam, Harinam, Harinam eva kevalam, kalo anasteva, 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 gati ranyata. There's no other way. Param gati, gata. Param gati, gata, no other way but this Harinam Sankirtan. Therefore, all glories, Param Vijayate, supreme victory will be had by everyone. So the doorway, in other words, who introduced the Kirtan Prachar, Janra Dwara Kaila Prabhu Kirtan Prachar, Yanra Dwara Kaila Prabhu Jagat Nistar. Advaita Acharya was doing Hare Krishna Mahamantra Kirtan and Krishna Nam Sankirtan 40 years before Lord Chaitanya appeared on Navadvip. As I mentioned, he was born in 1433. Lord Chaitanya is born 50 years later. He's an Acharya, he is a Brahmin. He had many, many disciples, so he was already preaching Krishna Bhakti. Not exactly Gaur Krishna Bhakti, but Krishna Bhakti, pure Shuddha Bhakti, Krishna Bhakti, initiating thousands of people and engaging everyone in Navavida Bhakti, 9 lives of devotion, and principally, especially chanting Harinam Sankirtan. So Advaita Acharya and Haridas Thakur and those group of senior Vaishnavas, Chandrasekhar Acharya and others, and Navadvip Mandal, they are gathering regularly and going out on Harinam Sankirtan and wondering when Krishna would come as Gauranga. So the Kirtan Prachara, the Dwara and the Prachara, it is through Advaita Acharya that Chaitanya spread he's the doorway by which Lord Chaitanya walked through to spread to do preaching of Kirtan Prachara, to preach Kirtan. And by preaching Kirtan, distributing Nam Sankirtan, Jagat Nistar means he delivered the whole universe. Acharya Gosai Chaitanyera, Acharya Gosai Chaitan, Yara Mukhya Anga, Ara Eka Anga Tanra, Prabhu Nityananda. Sri Advaita Prabhu is the principal limb, the Mukhya Anga of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Another limb is Lord Nityananda. So this is a very significant verse because in the beginning of the Gaudiya Sampradaya, Advaita Prabhu had Nityananda had not even started initiating yet. And he was just an avadut. He was wandering all over India, searching for Krishna, like Balaram wandered all over India, searching for Krishna. During the Kurukshetra war, he went on Tirthayatra all over India. That's in Krishna book, 10th canto of Bhagavatam, the pilgrimage of Balaram. So Balaram came as Nitai, Hoila Nitai, Balaram Hoila Nitai. So when Balaram came as Nitai, he also wandered all over India, searching for his brother, Vishwarup or whatever. And so there's no Harinam Sankirtan. Then he came to Braj. Then he came to the banks of the Yamuna. And he went to Nityananda Vat, which is called Shringhar Vat. And he went there meditating on Radha Krishna Lila, and his Sarup is maybe a Nangamanjari or whatever. So then there in that spot, it came in his heart, Mahaprabhu has appeared. Mahaprabhu has appeared to inaugurate the Sankirtan movement. And then he yelled out, Hunkar, Gaur! And then Nitai ran, left Vrindavan, left Shringarvat and the banks of Yamuna, and ran back to Navadvip Mandal to meet Gauranga. And he didn't meet him when he was a baby. He met him when he was about 16 years old. He was already born a long time. But he was in Maya. Gauranga Mahaprabhu was busy studying Naya. He was in Maya studying Naya. He was in Maya. It's not Maya to study Naya, by the way, but just to make a little poem joke. He was studying Naya and logic and all kinds of different things and Vyakaran and Sanskrit grammar, and then became a proficient teacher. He became a Digvijay Pandit and defeated the Brahmin Pandit Keshav, coming from Kashmir. Keshav Bhatta. His name was Keshav Bhatta, his birth name, and he's born in Kashmir. He's generally called Kashmiri Pandit as a category. So he was very puffed up and very proud and very, very, very far away from Trinada peace or Nietzsche. Amanina? Manidena? No. He had no money for anybody. Yeah, his money was for him. He had no money for anybody. Money means respect. He would challenge. What is your philosophy? I challenge you. Do you know Naya? So then they would argue, and then he would say, "Okay." Then Lord Chaitanya would say, "Now argue this point and convince me." So then his fellow student would present an argument, very convincing. He said, "That's very good, but now I'm going to defeat my own argument and defeat you too." And he used to gather. Nimai had a gang, the Pandit gang. And they, 5 or 6, they would go together, and they would go from door to door to different acharyas and senior people in the Navadvip Mandal, and knock on the door and say, "Oh, Radhe," Haribol, Hari, or I don't know what, he wasn't saying Haribol, he wasn't saying anything. He said, Om, whatever he was saying. He just said, Maya. He said, "Where Prabhu kaha? Prabhu kotai. Where's your Prabhu?" "Oh, he's in a mandir." You call him, tell him Nimai Pandit's here, wants to discuss tattva. Acha. So then she would say, "Oh, Prabhu, Nimai Pandit and Jagannath Mishra Kabacha, he came here to discuss tattva with you." "Oh, no. I'm not going to meet with him. No. You tell him I'm doing my anik, I'm doing my mantra dhyan, and it will take me several hours." So then his wife went back and said, "No, my pati's busy in a mandir or Thakurji ke samne, and he's doing his chanting Diksha mantra. So you come back tomorrow." Acha, theek hai. So this way he was going around and embarrassing and shaming all the pundits in Navadvip. And the boys, when they would come out of someone's house, they'd Jai Nimai, Jai Nimai, Jai Nimai, and he would smile like, yeah, and he was like really puffed up. And it wasn't until the very end of his Lila, until Lila chapter 20 of Chaitanya Charitamrita, that he decided, this is not the way to go. Should be humble and respect all and serve all and love all. Trinadapi. He's writing Trinadapi. Sanichena. Taroriva Sahishna. He couldn't tolerate anything. Anyone just said, "No, you don't understand the Vyakaran. Do you know what is the syllable ya? Is it ya a half syllable or a full syllable?" Then they would argue, "No, it's ya ah." So So this is. So then Nitai joined him, because Nitai was traveling around, but Lord Advaita Acharya was there from the time Lord Chaitanya was born. He came to worship him with all kinds of articles. That's in the Chaitanya Bhagavat. Sachimata and Advaita came to worship him, and they were best friends of Jagannath Mishra. They were seniors, and they were best friends of Jagannath Mishra and Sachimata. So that's why everyone knows, and this is history. It says Acharya Gosai Gun. No, it says Acharya Gosai Chaitanya Mukhya Anga. So according to the historical record of the Pramana Shastra, the main primary, Mukhya means main primary chief Anga, limb of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Advaitacharya. So if you turn back the clock 500 years ago, Advaitacharya, he already had so many devotees, and when he joined Lord Chaitanya, they all joined with him.